met several of you, but if I haven't met you, welcome. I have the honor to shepherd some of the restorative work with my amazing colleagues. And as we were building this and talking about how do you stop, regulate, and listen, what said back to me was we have to restore our own selves before we can restore others, before we can restore our community, and before we can restore our world. And I was drawn back to the skill sets of the restorative work. And if you look on here, there are 5 components of restorative skills: empathy, honest expression, asking questions, the art of a request, and mindfulness. When I think about these, I also think about some pairs to the social emotional learning competencies around self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, responsible decision-making, and my relationship skills. And while I could overlay and say, here's where the competencies line up, that would only be from my lens. So I'm going to invite you to take a minute or maybe like 45 seconds and just read through what each one of these 5s are and what social emotional competencies may come up for you. And as they start sparking up, please feel free to write them in the chat box. For example, the art of a request for me might resonate as my self-management or possibly my responsible decision-making. So I invite you to share your thoughts in the chat box when you're ready. For today's purpose, we are going to focus in only on 2 of these. We are going to focus in on empathy, which is listening without judgment, reassuring and regulate. And we're going to focus in on the art of a request. How do we problem solve, action plan, assess, and make those connection requests? We have these skill sets. We do this with our students and our families and our colleagues all the time. But if we were to really look inward, could we say we're doing this for ourselves? Am I listening to myself without judging myself? Probably more often I'm judging who I am and how I show up than I realize. And when I go to make an art of a request, am I really problem solving my situation and making an action plan so I can move forward? Those are our 2 focus. You will see both of those in our slides coming up to kind of bring us back to that focus.